So the last time we left off, I've done some research and defined the scope of my website project. And I've decided to go with a website builder for now. And according to this article from Elementor blog, the biggest delay is not having the content prepared. And so that's what we're going to do right now. Um, so here's my portfolio content. I start with the question, what is a portfolio? It's a collection of materials showing my experience, skills. I don't know about accomplishments, but for now, just past projects. Who uses portfolios? Professionals from creative fields, writing and communication, marketing, tech, education, business, and operations. I got this information from an Indeed article. And ideally, a portfolio should have about 3 to 6 items. That's the number that I found from searching through the internet. But I got greedy and I have more than 6 items. To start with, the biggest body of work I have is illustrations and images. I could probably link to my Instagram and my Fiverr or Ko-fi. I'm thinking of having a gallery on the webpage. So the content would be my 100 figures project, my 10 self-portraits, my animal pictures, drawings that depict materials and textures. So my photography from my photography class, my journal covers, digital art, 3D models from my 3D modeling class, and other things that I couldn't find a category for. Of these subcategories include figures, so my school figure drawings over here, and then I did digital drawing for using stock photos provided by Adorka Stocks for their Draw Everything June challenge in 2023. So this is what these three are. And then using more Adorka Stock reference photos, I did 100 figures in 2024. And then the next subcategory would be materials, which I did this for part of an illustration class. And that includes some basic geometry, glass, chrome metals, and then wood, some furnitures, and other miscellaneous items. And then the next subcategory would be digital art, which includes images made from Adobe Illustrator, Photoshop, and since Photoshop is not free, I do have Clip Studio Paint on hand, so a lot of my digital art is made through Clip Studio Paint. And then there's other miscellaneous that doesn't fall under the subcategories of figures, materials, and digital art or digital painting, which includes traditional oil paints, photography, and 3D modeling. I've decided to not include my photography because that was mostly for the class and I haven't really practiced photography since then. And yeah. And then other than images, the next kind of work that I want to feature is UX design work. For UX specifically, I have done a couple projects through Google UX, a Coursera course, so which includes a wireframe of a theoretical coffee house, a mobile app, and also another wireframe mockup. No, prototypes. They're both. I have prototypes for both. Another reservation app for a restaurant, and then one that actually yielded real life application was a nonprofit website, which I volunteered my time to design a website for my uncle's nonprofit over here. And then using Figma, I was going through multiple weeks of iterating on a planner that works for me. Didn't really yielded a result that I like. So back to the drawing board with those. And then another is a timeline for my resume. Not sure if I'm going to include these two. And then another area that I want to feature is probably programming. And I thought about restarting a GitHub, but I think building on top of a GitHub that I already have, and just I'm gonna need to do more programming projects in the coming months. And for now, I'm just gonna link to my GitHub. And then I also have some writing that I could probably put up there, but I don't. The template that I'm gonna use is not very helpful for writing, putting up writing samples. And then my collection of videos, which I'm just gonna link my YouTube to. And so that's all of my portfolio content. So the next step would be to ideate. And honestly, I just kind of went through the motion. I know I'm supposed to go through like multiple iteration of this, but for now, first idea is what I went with. I wanted the first thing that a person would see would be images of my work, and then underneath would be different categories of portfolios, like image portfolio, design portfolio, programming portfolio, and maybe underneath there's further categorization through maybe chronological organization, perhaps. And then I also drew a mobile version on the side. And then, the next step would be prototyping. I've used Figma before, so that's what I'm going to use. I went in there and got distracted by their website feature. It's a beta. Oh, it's a beta feature. Messed around with that. This is kind of similar to what I'm going for, but it had more features than I was planning for, so scrap that. Go back into create a design and go back to the main Figma work area, and then created a design draft and basically translate my sketch. I should have worked more on this, but then I got impatient and just started building on the card website builder. And the first step was choosing a template. Choosing a template. There's all the templates. Profile. Decided to go with the portfolio. Clicked around. This first one, like most of the portfolio templates, just had the galleries. This one actually had buttons that sent you to different galleries. So I used this. And then the problem with this was that the gallery isn't front and center, especially when I have a lot of buttons, a lot of sections. As mobile, on mobile, all you see is buttons, and you're gonna have to scroll all the way down to see the main gallery. I fixed that by creating a separate button that sent you to more options. But yeah, it took me about a day. I still need to add descriptions and label each gallery to help the viewer understand what they're looking at. So here's the main art overview, and then I have the UX featured. This also needs a little bit more work because I know the UX portfolios want a full case study, not like a link to the prototype. Yeah, I'm happy with this. So yeah, after I made a website, yay, and after having people click around, iterated on it, improved it, created hide the navigations, created a return to main hub button, and then I've moved, oh yeah, the links up here. So these links right here were all the way on the bottom. I moved it all the way on top. And then, yeah, I will make descriptions later. So to do, not this week, but at some point, I will have to further iterate and improve my website. Oops. But for now, pretty happy with what I have for now. Yep. Okay, I'm not sure how to end this. I'm not sure how to end this video, but that is the end of the video. I wasn't really feeling up to task to present, but I got it done, and not sure what I'm going to make the next video about. I have a few ideas, but until then, wait a week, maybe a couple weeks, and we'll see.